I'm here with Softcult at Meadows Music Festival. And I realized when I was prepping for the interview that I interviewed you guys like 13 years ago in Chatham, Ontario with probably your first band, Courage My Love, right?
No way,
so
that's sick.
I think you were opening for Airborne.
Yeah, I remember that show.
I remember that show. That's awesome.
It was, I still say that show, like when Airborne came on, it was a small kind of bar, right? That was probably one of the loudest shows that I've ever been to in my life. We go to a lot of shows. But anyway.
I feel like as soon as like the downbeat, everybody's Airborne.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what have you been doing these last 13 years now? But no, like you got a new band, Softcult, and this was kind of like a hometown show for you guys, right? Just from down the road. So how did it feel opening up day 2 at Meadows?
It was really fun. I mean, we love playing festivals, and it's a nice day. We're in a cool area, nice foresty area. People were great. I don't know. You really can't ask for more in this, playing a show in the summer. This is kind of ideal.
It didn't rain. That's what everyone's worried if you play outside in the summer, especially in late spring, early summer. The weather could not cooperate, but it was good. Yeah.
It worked out.
I think, and last year too, we were all wearing like winter coats and stuff here. So now it's like we're all wearing t-shirts and we're comfortable, right? So So tell me about your new project and your new album, your debut album, When a Flower Doesn't Grow. It was just released earlier this year. So how does it feel to have it out for the masses?
Man, it feels so good. I mean, it was... Oh, thank you. Nicole Hughes, manager to the stars.
Yeah, there you go. Keeping you nice and hydrated for the interview.
It feels really good to have the album out. I mean, it's like... it's our first album with this project. We put a lot of work into it. Sorry, sometimes when I feel like I talk about it, I feel like it's like a sports interview, like post-game hockey interview.
Yeah. You gave 110% effort.
You put it all out there on the ice. So it really does feel good, and we're very proud of it. It's self-produced, and we recorded it in our home studio. So yeah, we're very proud to have it out, and it feels good to play the new songs live. We played a bunch live today, and to have like a full-length body of work is really cool, because up until now we've just been doing EPs. So I think the thing that makes this different is we allowed ourselves to really explore all sides of the influences that influence Softcult, like our sound. So there's like some punk on there, there's like shoegaze on there, there's grunge. It's kind of all over the map. And
you said it's self-produced. Is that something that's new for you guys, or have you guys been dabbling in that for a while now?
Well, it's cool. It's like with this new project with Softcult, that has been something from the start. We've just kind of produced everything ourselves. So that's been fun. We're like a pandemic band. So we started doing it basically just because we're like, oh man, yeah, we want to make some demos and make some recordings. Can't really go to a studio or whatever in lockdown. But then now we really like it. So yeah, we've just been doing that. And I think it might be maybe part of our sound. Like, we'll see what the future holds. But for now, it's really something that we enjoy doing for sure. Yeah.
Right on. So how long of a process was it to put this album out? It's your debut full album. You mentioned you put a bunch of EPs out. But what was the timeline, I guess, in the process for putting the full album out?
I think from writing to recording to releasing, it probably took us about a year to do everything, which may not seem like a long time, but for us it's a long time, because pretty much from the beginning of this band we've consistently been putting out about 1 or 2 EPs a year. So this being the 5th thing we've ever released and it being a full length, we took a little more time to do it, but we wanted to do it right, especially because it's a conceptual album, so we wanted to tell a story with it, and it took a little bit of time to figure out what direction we wanted to go in and how we wanted to tell the story, which is why it just feels so good to finally put it out when you know how much went into it. And especially for Phoenix, like editing everything and doing all the production on it, it was like a really big undertaking. But
yeah, so I know you mentioned there was a lot of your influences were involved in this project, and you mentioned there's a story, but maybe talk a little bit more about what that story was, or what that overarching kind of theme was for the album.
It's like personal, but I think everyone can relate to it. And the story basically starts from a place of innocence and naivety, and then it's about a series of events that radicalize all of us, I think, you know, in 2026 we can all relate in one way or another to feeling, you know, radicalized and more aware of world events, political, social events, and wanting to make a difference. And so it starts from this very innocent and naive place. Maybe traumatic events happen, maybe it's, you know, just becoming more aware of the issues of the world, and then turning that frustration and anger into positive action and change. So overall, it is an empowering album, but there's definitely some darkness in the middle and some, I feel like, processed trauma that we were working through.
Got to go through some of the dark to get to the light, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Right on. So now that you got your debut album out, like the full project, and you've worked lots of EPs as well, do you have like a sense of relief where you're like, oh, okay, we got that out, or does that kind of motivate you to carry on with this creative process with this project?
Yeah, I think we're honestly more amped up than ever to get back to writing. We've been doing a lot of like touring and stuff kind of throughout. Even like while we were recording, we were playing a lot and just doing all that. And you know, yeah, I think by the time this year is over, we're going to be ready to basically record some new stuff, get back into it, start the next kind of thing, whether that's an EP or an album or whatever it is. But yeah, we're just ready to go for sure.
And I bet you get it too, like the DIY mindset is like, once you prove that you can do it for yourself, you're like, okay, man, I can do this, and you just want to keep going, you know? So.
Yeah, we're the same way. Like, we just released a print edition to SWOMP, and it was like, didn't really know exactly what I was doing to start, but you just gotta jump in and figure out along the way, and then you start, you know, getting some momentum. It's like you want to keep it going, right?
That's
experience.
Congrats, by the way.
That's
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so
congratulations.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so I totally appreciate the whole DIY mentality for sure. So now with your sound, it seems like, you know, thinking back to seeing you guys when, you know, we were all kind of kids back then when you were with Courage My Love, but your sound is really developed, and it's a different sound. It's a different kind of style, I guess. And you already mentioned influences. So what kind of influences are there, and what kind of bands do you feel is in Softcult and that you've carried along the way, or that you've, you know, your twin sisters you grew up together that you maybe grew up listening to? What's some of that stuff that you're putting into this music?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like from like our first band together to now. It's like that first band, we were like teenagers when we were in it.
15.
Yeah, we started it when we were like still teenagers, and then now, we're both like 32 now. So it's kind of like, yeah, you just, obviously the music that you would write as a teenager is different from what you would write as like a 30-year-old. So it's kind of that, but also I think a lot of our influences now are very much kind of like 80s, 90s shoegaze type bands. A lot of like Nirvana, Failure. Yeah, you would know too, like Cocteau Twins, Slow Dive, like that kind of thing.
My Bloody Valentine.
And all the greats.
You may not hear it so much in the sonics of it, but the ethos behind it and the morals and the lyrics and stuff is very riot girl punk.
Yeah.
And like zine culture aesthetic. So I guess it's just very 90s influenced overall, just that whole era of music and time.
Yeah. It's like basically if you could mix like a shoegaze band with like a punk band, basically. But yeah, just in a weird, crazy, like Frankenstein way. Yeah.
Tell me about the guys of Softcult, how that came together and how they became a part of the band.
Yeah.
Those are like our two best buds.
Yeah.
I mean, they both have played in many bands over the years. They're both really talented musicians, and I think we got lucky, you know, right at the tail end of the pandemic. We started booking these shows, and we were like, oh, we got to take this to the stage and out of the studio. So we were like, who are we going to play with? And both those guys came to mind, just not only because they're so talented and, you know, in their own right, they're amazing artists. They both write music of their own too, but they're also just genuine, nice people that we could be in a van with for weeks on end. And, you know, we love hanging out. So yeah, Brent McSwiggan is the guitarist and Phil Hurst is the bass player.
Right on. So you mentioned traveling in advance, so you don't really have to do that. You're probably going to sleep in your own bed tonight.
Yeah,
right?
not today. Yeah.
But coming up later this year or later this month, right? You have a big tour coming up. So tell me about that.
on Wednesday, like literally
Wednesday,
in a couple days, we're flying out to Kyoto. And then we start our tour in Japan. And then from there, we do a bunch of shows in Southeast Asia. And it's pretty much a dream come true. It's been 3 years since we've gone. And we can't wait to come back and just like play not only the songs off of When a Flower Doesn't Grow, but also we had an EP that came out called Heaven. So taking a bunch of new music over there. And it's a great experience. I mean, last time we were there, I feel like we learned a lot culturally, even from just the music scene, how everyone supports each other and is so community driven. And I feel like it taught me personally a lot. And I just can't wait to, reconnect with a bunch of the people we met last time too.
Amazing. So, well, good luck with everything. Good luck on the tour. It's nice to reconnect after a couple years, and I love what you guys are doing with Softcult and Phoenix and Mercedes. Good luck with everything, and thanks for taking time with me.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity and for the interview, and yeah, good luck with the SWOMP as well.
Thank you very much.